Dear students, myself Dr. Nadeem from Biotechnology Department of KMC Language University, Lucknow. So in the previous lecture, we have learned about the monosaccharides, their classification and their properties. So continuing now with the topic of carbohydrates, today we will learn about the disaccharides and polysaccharides. So as you know, what are disaccharides? These are composed of two monomer units, that is two types of monosaccharides, whether they are same or they can be different. Like in case of sucrose, they are different monosaccharides, glucose plus fructose. So this is one of the example of disaccharide. Another is polysaccharide. There are examples like starch and glycogen. They are composed of many monosaccharide units, that is greater than 10 monosaccharide units. These are known as polysaccharides. So one by one you will learn about these examples. So this is the classification. Earlier I told you carbohydrate is classified into these three types: monosaccharides, disaccharides, which comes under oligosaccharides, and last is polysaccharides. So today we will learn about disaccharides and polysaccharides. So when two monomer unit, that is two monosaccharides, are combined through glycosidic linkage, then a disaccharide is formed. Just here, take the example of sucrose, which is also known as cane sugar, because it is obtained from sugar cane. So it has two monosaccharides, that is glucose and fructose, joined by glycosidic linkage. The bond here is glycosidic bond, and which is the numbering, the anomeric carbon are alpha 1 and beta 2. I have told you in the previous lecture, these are anomers, alpha and beta, and the carbon number in case of glucose it is 1, that is why it is written as alpha 1, and in the case of fructose it is beta 2. The carbon involved is second carbon. So this is a non-reducing heterodisaccharide. As the two monosaccharides are different, glucose and fructose, that is why the term comes heterodisaccharide. Do not confuse with the heteropolysaccharide, that is the comes under polysaccharide. Here you are learning about disaccharide, and since the two monomeric units are different, so the term comes heterodisaccharide, and since there is no anomeric carbon is free, that is why this is non-reducing sugar. Now on hydrolysis by sucrase or invertase, these sucrose produce glucose and fructose. When these are produced individually, they have a separate reducing action. They are both reducing sugar. Only when they are released by hydrolysis of sucrose by enzyme sucrase. The enzyme is sucrase. Now another example is lactose. It also comes under disaccharide. But here the components are what? Here galactose and glucose. Here also it is a type of heterodisaccharide, not homodisaccharide, because the two components are different, galactose plus glucose, and the glycosidic linkage is different, that is beta 1 and alpha 4. Here in this case you are seeing it is alpha 1 and beta 2 between glucose and fructose. Here between galactose and glucose it is beta 1 alpha 4. So this is the case of lactose, which is found in milk. It is a milk sugar. Just like sucrose, which is obtained from sugarcane, lactose is obtained from milk. So it forms osazone, which resembles flower of touch me not, Mimosa pudica plant की तरह इसका शेप होता है, and another shape is of cotton ball. दोनों तरह से इसका शेप हो सकता है. जब आप इसको माइक्रोस्कोप से देखेंगे ओसाजोन रिएक्शन से, then it can obtain both type of similar shape, mainly cotton ball shaped crystals. So this lactose is hydrolyzed by enzyme lactase. Sucrose is hydrolyzed by sucrase. Since the enzyme has suffix ase, so it is easier to learn the name of the enzyme which hydrolyze lactose, sucrose or this maltose. Only the O word is replaced by A, that is the suffix word when enzyme comes So here in the case of maltose, you are seeing the two components are same. That is glucose plus glucose. So it is a type of homodisaccharide, not heterodisaccharide. And the bonding which is involved, it is known as alpha 1,4. The glycosidic linkage is also different. That is alpha 1,4 in case of maltose sugar. And since it is a homodisaccharide and one carbon is free, which carbon? Anomeric carbon. So anomeric carbon is free here. That is why it is a reducing homodisaccharide. Just like in the case of lactose, which is reducing, here also example of reducing homodisaccharide is maltose. So it is produced by alpha amylase upon attacking starch. What is the source? You have learned previously the sucrose source is sugar cane and lactose source is milk. What is the source here? Maltose. It is the starch. Through starch hydrolysis, maltose is obtained by enzyme alpha amylases in our body. So digestion is starts from the mouth. When we take starch containing food, the digestion is start from mouth through this enzyme alpha amylase which is present in our saliva. Another example of disaccharide is isomaltose. So here the glycosidic bonding is chain in comparison to maltose. You are seeing the glycosidic bonding is alpha 1,6, not alpha 1,4. Here it is alpha 1,4 and here it is alpha 1,6. Since the numbering is different, 6 comes in plus of 4, so you can easily memorize that it is a branch chain structure. Branching comes when alpha 1,6 is the glycosidic linkage, the branching starts. So here it is formed by two glucose units, glucose plus glucose, and the linkage is alpha 1,6. Now come to the polysaccharides. There are two types of polysaccharides, homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. Just like I have told you, homodisaccharide and heterodisaccharide, these are different. Here the classification is polysaccharide and one type of polysaccharide is homopolysaccharide, and the best example is starch. So starting from first example is starch. What is starch? It is the polymer of same monosaccharide unit, that is glucose. And the monosaccharide units are exceeding in number greater than 10. That is why it is known as polysaccharides. So what is the function? It is the reserve carbohydrate of plant kingdom. Its counterpart in our body is glycogen. In plant it is starch. It is the reserve food material. In our body it is the glycogen. It is the reserve food. Now how can a starch can be identified? It can be identified by iodine test. So this iodine test, when we drop a few drops of iodine in the starch containing solution, the solution turns blue in color. So this has application, very good application. Iodine test is generally used to detect adulteration of starch in sweets and milk. In place of khoya, it is generally used as adulteration. In most of the sweets during festival period and most of the milkmen, they also adulterate starch to make a thick milk. So it is a very important test that is known as iodine test. It is a very simple test. One can keep it in their home and test the sweets and milk for its adulteration. Now there are different effects of starch upon heating, upon applying acids, upon enzymatic. So there are three types of action, starting with the heating effect. What happens when starch solution is heated? It is break up into two parts, amylose and amylopectin. So the first part, it is 10 to 20%. It is less concentration in comparison to second part, that is amylopectin, which is 80 to 90% concentration when starch is boiled. These are the two differences between the two parts obtained from boiling the starch. One part is alpha amylose, it has a linear chain, alpha 1,4, while second part is amylopectin, it is a branch chain structure because of glycosidic linkage alpha 1,6. So the amylose structure is similar to the maltose you have just seen in the disaccharide category, but the maltose structure is repeating n times. While in the case of amylopectin, a single branch chain, it is known as isomaltose. Alpha 1,6 linkage, glucose plus glucose, it is the isomaltose unit which is present in the amylopectin as a branch chain structure. Now what happens when enzyme hydrolyzes starch? These are the effect. There are two types of amylases, alpha amylase in our body and beta amylases in plants. So this alpha amylase, it breaks starch into smaller units, that is dextrin, and then further into maltose. So this is the reason why we feel sweetness when we chew the food, especially containing starch. Starch is hydrolyzed by our alpha amylase present in the saliva into the maltose. This maltose is responsible for sweetness during chewing of starch containing food. And another is beta amylase. It is of plant origin, present in plants. Example is almond, germinating seeds and sweet potatoes. So these contain beta amylase, and when they ripe, they feel sweet in taste. During ripening, this amylase is responsible for the sweetness, for turning starch into maltose. What is the effect of acids? On the applying acid, amylodextrin is formed, which gives violet color with iodine. Further hydrolysis by acid, erythrodextrin is formed, which gives rust color. Now the glycogen, which is our reserve material, food reserve material is glycogen. So it is the reserve carbohydrate in animals and is stored in liver and muscle. It is very important. About 5% of weight of liver is made up by glycogen, and it has same structure but more complex than starch. This is the difference between glycogen and starch. It is more complex, more branching occurs in glycogen in comparison to starch. Another is cellulose. It is the supporting tissues of plants. It has also glucose units combined to form, and it has this structure, beta D glucose plus beta D glucose. Repeating unit of this glucose form cellulose, and it has beta 1,4 linkage. Another linkage which is different from earlier one, it is beta 1,4 linkage in cellulose. Another polysaccharide example is it inulin. It is very important. Polysaccharide, earlier we have shown that all the polysaccharides are composed of glucose unit, whether it is the starch, glycogen or cellulose. Here the case is different. In the case of inulin, it is not composed of glucose unit. It is composed of fructose unit, repeating fructose units. So it is a long chain homoglycan composed of D-fructose. And what is the linkage? The linkage is beta 1,2 linkages. The last but not the least, it is the dextran, which comes under homopolysaccharide, and these are the heteropolysaccharides. It is the second category of polysaccharide known as heteropolysaccharides. What are the examples? Hyaluronic acid, chondroitin 4-sulfate, heparin and dermatan sulfate. So it is another category in comparison to homopolysaccharides. These heteropolysaccharides have repeating different unit. Not only glucose, glucose, glucose. Not only fructose, fructose, fructose. It is a combination of many types of monosaccharides. That is why it is known as heteropolysaccharides. So this is all about today's lecture. Thank you everybody.